good morning, good afternoon. Viewer, listener, I am so happy that you're here. Um, I want you to know that you're creative, and I hope you walk away a little bit inspired. I'm in a little bit of a jam today, guys, because I forgot to give our guest the address. Who knows where she is? But I know that there's this trick you can do where if you snap your fingers, like someone will appear. So I thought I'd try that for us today. Guys, it
Oh my
worked!
god!
You teleported! This is
I'm here.
amazing!
I
Oh
don't know.
my
I'm
goodness.
here.
Yes! I was so worried I was gonna have to go hunt you down somewhere. Man,
I know. I know. You popped up. But
I'm
yeah,
here. It
I'm
worked.
here.
Oh man, all jokes aside, it has been a little bit of a journey to get into this point. A little bit of
Yeah.
scheduling that's happening. It's gonna be really awesome.
Yeah.
Um, I think I'll just start by saying, like, we have a senior in the house. She's gonna, like, graduate, guys.
Yes, I'm leaving. Oh, I'm leaving.
You're, like, kind of face of terror, but it's also exciting, maybe?
Yeah, no, I'm so excited. I have so many plans, so I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
man. I can't wait to be senior. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Our guest, she's super talented between music and film and and so much more. So, I mean, I just want to talk to you, like, what's your favorite genre of just like film or music or just what's your favorite?
When it comes to film, my favorite, I have like two that I tend to lean towards is horror and romance because I feel like
Yeah.
those build the most emotion and I'm drawn towards them more. And then
Mhm.
in music, I really like softer, calmer music, like maybe like indie alternative, but then I can also flip and I love heavy metal with my whole heart. Like
That
I
is
love heavy
so
metal.
random.
I know. Yeah, but it's great.
Oh, that is great. Um, so what is your earliest memory in film? Like what's the like first movie you saw or something like that? Just the first of film.
I want to say my earliest memory in film
Heads up, she's going to say her earliest memory in music first, and then film.
is when I was about, I think I was like 2 years old. And I remember like looking up at my dad holding me in his arms while
Oh,
he's playing Guitar Hero. Like,
oh my gosh.
and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I mean, I was two, so I couldn't really say much, but I just remember being so like enthralled and it was so amazing. And he used to blast heavy metal in the car when I was little, and I was just like I could feel it throughout my body, and it was
Oh
amazing.
wow. My goodness.
My grandpa's also a musician,
Oh
so
yeah,
he
yeah.
yeah, so that's been a big influence on me. And then when it comes to film, um, I I've always been drawn towards it. My dad is an animator, and we used to
Oh
watch movies
wow.
together when I was younger, and like pick them apart together. So that's always, and I when I was little, that inspired me to make like a little YouTube channel at like 7 years
Oh
old.
yeah, yeah.
I loved putting things together and like seeing the different cuts in movies. It was so like amazing to me.
That's so
Yeah.
interesting
Yeah.
because I didn't think about editing for a long time. It was something I always took for granted. I didn't like it was so natural to cut from one scene to
Yeah.
the other that I never thought about it at all. I was always looking at like the acting or what they're saying, like never.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess why film editing? Are you like so drawn to that?
Well, okay. I love how intricate and in depth the edits go. Like I said, like when I was little, I would see the different cuts. I would see my favorite, they're called match cuts. So I would
Oh.
see like so say a little kid is walking and then the
Uh-huh.
camera like cuts in front of something, like goes in front of something, and then when it goes up, they're an adult, but it's them still and they're walking. So it's like
Oh, yeah,
gosh,
yeah,
I
yeah.
would be like I'd be like oh my gosh, that is so cool. Like that is like
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
amazing. And so I'd want to recreate them and I'd make my own little movies where I'd have my little sister act as baby me.
Of
But
course,
it
yes.
just seeing those little cuts and like seeing how creative you could be in like a movie or a film or a show was just like, I don't know. I loved it so much, but it was
Yeah,
really fun.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what are your like film influences? Are you like, we don't really hear the names of editors as much as we do other professions. Like, is there an editor, like an editing style that you're super into, or
Um, so unheard of completely. It was my teacher in freshman year. So I used to go to public school. His name was Mr. Jared Powell.
oh
And
my gosh.
yeah, he was just so insane. Like he would make these little short films on the side and be in film contests, but I would watch him and the way he put it together, and I would like see the tiniest little clips, like 0.5 seconds, that would add so much into it, like into whatever he was creating. And it was like, wow. I also love Wes Anderson. Like that's a
Oh
bigger
my
name.
gosh.
But Wes
Yeah,
Anderson is
yeah.
my favorite. He's so fun. Like it's amazing.
Hmm.
And then I've definitely been influenced by David Lynch. Rest in peace. He just passed
Oh.
away. But he was a big movie maker, like
Hmm.
from a hot minute ago. But yeah, those are my top three. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really funny they're mentioning Wes Anderson. I went on a little rabbit trail of accidentally Wes Anderson, the photography. Do you know of, it's like a collective, that's a lot to get into. You should look it up. They're beautiful shots, like pictures that look like they could have been in a Wes Anderson film.
Oh, that's so cool. I totally have
Yeah,
to check
yeah.
this out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like really cool colors and symmetry, and yeah, it's beautiful. Makes my eyes
That's
happy. Makes my eyes
cool.
really happy. Okay. So so we've already talked about your first connection to music. You
Yes.
were watching your dad play Guitar Hero. I mean, that just makes
Yeah.
him a good Guitar Hero. I know. Also to your dad, like, must have been pretty good.
I no, my dad is so like he was literally holding me with one hand. He was like,
He's like, I got this.
yeah, he's light work to him.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So, from my understanding, you write music.
I try. Yes.
Well, that's more than I can say. That's talent. You want to tell me more about that?
Yes. So, trying to think what really got me into it. When I was 8, I had heard, I don't know if you know Alessia Cara. She made the song Scars to Your Beautiful. Um,
Editor's note: for some reason, I'm about to say that I've never heard this song, but I've heard it a ton, and I really agree with what she's about to say.
I don't,
it's
but
okay. It was a big, big song when I was like 8 years old. And I was like, wow, I love the word choice that she used, and I love how this sounds, and I love how it can impact other people. I was thinking deep for being 8.
yes, yes, you are.
So I started taking music classes where I would just record me singing with, she's now a family friend, but so I did that, and that inspired me, and I was like, wow, I really want to start creating like more things. And it's taken a while over the years. I've only created one song when I was like 12, but I had so many ideas that I've like dove deeper into. I now intern at a music studio with a producer. I
Wow,
am
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I am his beneath sound engineer, and I help so 2 in 1. I make music and I also film and edit videos for him.
That's awesome.
So yeah. So yeah, but I'm trying to make my own music. I actually just put together a little band um that I'm hoping I'll have fun with and make stuff with.
Yeah, right?
But yeah.
So, where do you see yourself going with this? Like, what's your
Mhm.
senior? You're about to graduate. Like, what are you mentioned you have plans. Like, what are your
Yes. I live in Lake Arrowhead, California.
Mhm.
Um, I plan to move 8 hours away
Ah,
up to Santa Rosa Junior College,
yes.
to do sound engineering and commercial music. For maybe like 2 to 3 years, I'll be living in the dorms up there. And then I'm hoping to transfer to the I actually just went yesterday on a little tour to it,
Oh,
but the
fun.
LA Film School to
Oh
do
yeah.
film, which also has an insane music program. It's like
Oh,
shout
cool.
out to them if you guys like music or film, that is where you want to go, even LA. But yeah, and then see where I can go from there because I already have like a set in stone locked job at this internship that is going to turn into a job soon. So
Oh
if
my
I
gosh.
can't find anything, I will just work in a studio. So
That's so crazy. Well, maybe I'll see you there. Maybe we'll run into each other sometime in the future.
yeah, that's
That's like
great.
a Back to the Future quote. Maybe we'll see each other sometime in the future.
We'll see if this is yeah.
Oh dear. So, how did you get this internship? Like, that's actually crazy. That actually sounds like the almost like
Yeah.
the dream job for you. Like, how did you find it?
Yeah. So my dad, he works at a church as an animator,
Mhm.
and there was like it's a really big, like around the whole state, like multiple different campuses, but he works at the main one. And the guy who had created all the music worked with my dad for
Mhm.
all my dad's little animations. And he was in his like early 20s around then, but he left to pursue his bigger music career. And he had just, I think it was like 2 or 3 months ago, he recently opened a music studio and was getting a bunch of people like singing for him. And my mom was like, "Oh, like, why don't we ask him if we can check it out? He's a family friend." And I was like, "Ah." I
Oh,
just went purely to check it out. And my mom goes, "Well, if you need someone to intern for you." And I was like,
oh.
"But yeah." So that's pretty much how it started. He was like, "Yeah, I'd love to have you on." And so every Monday and Tuesday, I go in and we make music.
Oh my
And
gosh,
it's insane.
that is such the dream. Oh my goodness.
He's so lenient and nice. And like, he's like, "Oh, you want to take a nap? You can go to the
Oh
couch."
my goodness.
And every day he takes me out to lunch. And I'm like, "Oh my
You're like
God."
again?
Yeah, I'm like, "Can I stay here forever? Maybe I don't need to go to college." But
So much
yeah.
working here. I think I'm gonna stay.
Yeah, I think I'll stay here. But yeah, it's so great.
Oh man. So how do you like how do you get the inspiration for a song? I know you said that you haven't done like a ton, but like how does it start for you? The
It starts, oh my gosh. Okay, I have a weird thing where I get like super motivated and I start this project and then I'm like, "Huh, I don't know, maybe
you
I'll
that
do something else."
I
And
can
then I
relate.
start it again and again. But I have my guitar actually sitting right across from me,
Yeah.
and I'll get bored sometimes and I'll just start strumming and be like, "Wait,
Hmm.
I like this chord," and then I'll go to my piano and I'll play it on my piano, and then I'll like type it all out in my notes. And I
Mhm.
just recently downloaded this app where you can hum a note and it turns it into that chord and
Oh my God,
whatever instrument you want.
that's crazy.
So that's kind of what gets me going is just hearing a certain song that inspires me or seeing my
Hmm.
guitar when I'm bored and picking it up, and then that gets the train going.
Yeah, so for you, it's usually like a sound, and then do you find lyrics later? Or is it like a simultaneous thing? Or
It's like a I figure out what chords I want, I figure out the sound, and then
Mhm.
I'll be like, okay, because I just recently got a book about like the best way to write lyrics, how to not sound cliche, how to invoke emotion.
Ah, we
So
need
I
more of that.
yeah, it's so
Yeah.
I always start with I need to pick out a main emotion and a main topic. So it could be like
Mhm.
main topic, firemen, emotion, anger. And so I tie that in with the firemen and the fire and angry
And the
fire.
anger. And the
I
synonyms
I
to
just go from
anger.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But
Wow,
yeah.
that's really cool. That's a really cool place to start.
Yeah, I know. It's so amazing like that I have these like opportunities for my age, especially because I'm only
Mhm.
17. So it's like I'm so immensely grateful to everybody who is helping me throughout this.
Yeah. And I don't know, I feel like our generation is really has got a lot of opportunities if you want to
Mhm.
use them to just be
Yeah, I
so
agree.
creative, so creative.
Mhm.
So you mentioned like your guitars, like right there, and you also mentioned piano. What kind of guitar do you play? I'm not gonna know like specifics, but like electric or acoustic. It's a
Yeah.
95. Yes.
Yeah, it's a big name. I don't know, but I play acoustic. My grandpa gave me his old
Oh
acoustic
my
guitar, and then
gosh.
I
Yeah.
also play electric guitar, and it's my dad's guitar from the early 2000s. So
Ooh.
yeah, so it's a little it sounds a little rough around the edges, but it gets and it's really
A good
good.
sound, a good aged sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we
Okay.
talked about how you start like the process of you creating a song.
Mhm.
What's like, have you done like short films or like with your editing?
Mhm.
Do you are you like collaborating and then you're like taking, which I know your job you are collaborating, but
Mhm.
like getting someone's idea and cutting it, or are you like wearing all hats and writing and directing and all of
So
that?
okay, so when I went to public school my freshman and sophomore year, I
Mhm.
took a TV video class, and I was so blessed to have met some of my best friends in that
Oh
class who
yeah.
have this like love and passion for film while also really enjoying music too. So one of my closest friends, he loves Wes Anderson, he loves the music choice, he loves the color grading, and so do I. So we kind of like we use that inspiration for our own things. So he tends to direct majority of the stuff that we had made because we made probably like hundreds of short skits
Oh my
over
gosh,
the
so
past few
fun.
years. Yeah. And so I would help with the music and he would direct, and then we'd get like a bunch of kids from the school to be like
Yes.
actors in it. And it was
You're like
so
putting out a bulletin, you're like needed
yes,
action.
exactly. Because it actually that class did flip flop, and in the morning it was like the bulletin and be like, hey, like if any students want to be in our little thing, like
Oh,
come
that's
over.
so
And
convenient.
yeah, but yeah, it's great.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I recently got the privilege of talking to someone who does film scores. And I
Mm,
mean, that was
yeah.
so amazing. It got me really excited. Well, first, do you see yourself maybe doing film scores? Or have you already been doing that? Like, is that already
I haven't I not really, but I totally see myself literally doing anything when it comes to
anything?
film. Like if I had the chance to be a director, if I had the chance to be an
Oh
actor, if I
yeah.
had a chance to be the sound engineer or the editor, like anything.
You're
I am
part of it. Oh man,
yeah,
yeah.
I'll take it in. I'll do whatever they need me to do, wherever that is. But
Put me in it. Oh
yeah,
man,
I'll do
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of the questions that we were asking this talented film score
Mhm.
guy was like like building for like the scene, like growing the music, and also and I just would want to know like your perspective of the different editing shots for like
Mhm.
growing a scene, because I know like you can use that to build. You're talking about horror and romance, like both
Yeah.
super emotion pulling. Um, how editing helps with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I definitely think that the scenes when it comes to like different shots and editing play a big role, but the biggest part is the audio design underneath it, because it
Oh
could
wow.
have the worst picture ever. Like my thing could be super blurry, but if it has great audio, people aren't really going to be focusing on like, well, that cut there looked really weird. They're going to think,
Mhm.
why the heck did that audio just spike? That hurt my ears.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
yeah, but no, editing also plays like a huge role because you have to pay very close attention on what sort of shots you take because that invokes multiple different emotions. Like if I say I had my computer right here, this is straight on, or if I had it up here at bird's eye, or if I was like super
Super like
close,
leaned in.
yeah,
Yeah.
it adds so much to everything. It's like
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's like so hard to explain. It's amazing. I'm so passionate for it, but
You are
like
so passionate.
I'm so
Oh.
passionate, yeah.
No, but that's really good that you found something that you are so passionate about.
Especially at a young age, like
Yeah,
at
right?
like yay high, like that's insane. Like I'm so happy that I could find something that I love, that I know that I want to move forward in my life with it.
hmm And I used to get super frustrated because I felt like I didn't know what I wanted
Mhm.
to do. I'd be like, I want to do this, and then I would like get super excited about it, and then be like, no, that's actually a terrible idea. Like this was my cycle in elementary school. I was like, I want to do, and then I'm like, no, that was actually an awful idea. I will never do that. Um, but looking back, I realized that all of my all of the things that I was like, oh, I'll do this as a full profession. I realized that they all like led me to what I really want to do.
Mhm.
And I definitely, like you were saying, like with film and music, you could have seen those as two separate things, but they
Yeah.
kind of welded together into being this wonderful thing you're going to pursue.
Yeah. Like if you can see like right here I have my biggest inspiration show, The Walking Dead. It's
Oh, wow.
amazing to me. And then I have my musical artists all along this wall, and then I have
Yeah.
Smiths.
Oh, I
I have
love the slant for those of you who won't be able to see when you're listening. She has like a slanted wall, and I love the slant because like I've always used to see that in movies. It would be like the teenager's room has like the slanted roof, and they'd be able to like
yes, I
hand step
know.
on it, and I always just think it's really cool.
I even have one of those like it wouldn't be a bay window, but it's like a window I can crawl up to and read in.
Oh
It's
my gosh,
great.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah. The rooms that we were pitched as a child by TV shows that might not exist.
Yeah.
The last question I have for you is if you woke up as an alternate version of yourself, you weren't doing film and you weren't doing music, what kind of
Mhm.
job would you have? What kind of house would you have? And where in the world would you be?
Okay. I've thought about this forever. I'm like, if this doesn't work out, where am I gonna go? And I have one of two options.
Okay.
So I'm picturing like I live in the countryside of England or Wales, and I live in like a small, cozy cabin, and it's always raining, which is great because I grow my own produce and I sell
Oh
it
my goodness.
to local farmers markets. And yeah, that's my job. I sell my food. I live off the grid in my little cabin with a like a wood burning stove, or I live in Italy as a baker and I bake
Food
bread.
related, guys. It's food related.
Yeah, I'm a big foodie, but but yeah, I bake bread and I live in Italy and I live above the bakery. Like you know how like pizza shops and they have sometimes like have
Yeah,
apartments
yeah,
on
yeah.
talking about it would be like that sort of situation but with a bakery.
That is actually the most perfect answers. Like you totally got the question. That was awesome.
No, I thought about that for
You
so
know,
long.
so
Like,
yeah,
what am
yeah.
I gonna do? But I'm like, I know how to grow food and I know how to bake bread. So
You're like, I
I know
got
I'm going downstairs after this to bake a loaf of sourdough for fun. So
Yum.
yeah.
So, would you do you know more languages? Do you do you know Italian or do you know, well, I guess if you were in London, you just could speak
Well,
Britishly. You don't
it
have to.
totally helps that I'm British and my
Wait, no
dad
way.
and my I know my grandma has an accent and she's from Wales and my dad lived in
So
Wales
cool.
and
So
like
it's not
yeah,
totally like you just picked Wales.
Yeah,
You
no,
had
like
a reason. Okay, that's cool.
I have some family, so I'm like, maybe I can like go over there.
Yeah. Yes, yes,
But,
yes.
and then my best friend, his family's Italian or like Roman Italian, so I'm
Oh,
like,
fun.
I don't
Yeah.
know. So,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
Okay, well, it was really awesome meeting you, and it was really awesome talking with you. Someone
I know
else.
this was a pleasure. This was so fun. This
Yeah,
was really great.
yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
And
Congrats, you made it! I'm sure you're familiar, but there's a lot of ways you can support this idea. Like, subscribe, comment, or even use this as an excuse to meet with a friend and just talk about what gets you really excited. Anyways, thanks again, and there's more like this coming, so be ready.